Test. This is Danny Gathon for Pro Boxing fans. We're in Belfast for Michael Conlon versus Jordan Gill. It's the final press conference, and my pleasure to join by Billy Nelson. Billy, your man Lewis Crocker, huge domestic, all NI fight with Tyrone McKenna. Talk to me about it.
It's a fight we've been looking forward to since it was announced. We respect Tyrone, but I firmly believe that Crocker will be way too much for him on the night. Too big, too strong, too good of it, too good.
Lewis has impressed a lot so far, but I think it's fair to say on paper this seems like a pretty notable step up when you consider some of the names that Tyrone's been in with, or do you not necessarily see it that way?
No, I don't see it that way. The names, with fullest respect, the names that Tyrone's boxed, he's been beat with. And I would gladly put Crocker in with any of the names, including Prograis. You know, and you've got to remember that was at light welterweight. He's been dropped and stopped with lightweights and light welterweights. This is a fully fledged, ferocious punching welterweight, big welterweight, and you'll see the difference on Saturday night.
Do you see this fight as an opportunity for Lewis to grow his profile more than anything else? I think the eyeballs that's going to be on this card, we saw there was a bit of NATO at the open workout yesterday. There seems to be quite a lot of fan interest in it, which is maybe something for all Lewis is impressed that there hasn't been so far as that profile. Is that how you see it?
Every fight is a step in it, up the ladder to the ultimate aim of the world title, and this is just another step that Lewis is going to be taking. And once we've took care of business on Saturday night, we'll look at moving further up the ladder towards the world title.
Does it excite you, the prospect at welterweight? It looks like in the not too distant future some of the belts could become vacant. I mean, we've already saw the IBF, Jerome Ennis is now the champion there. You'd imagine it'll not be too long before the other three belts take a similar route. Would you say it's just a matter of getting Lewis into as good a position as possible for when the belts eventually do become vacant?
Well, ultimately, the title they're fighting for on Saturday night gives them a top 15 ranking, and you'd like to think maybe in two fights after that, after maybe two guys in the top 15, you could put yourself in a mandatory or final eliminator status. So, but it's fights at the right time and progressing and developing in the right way.
Just moving away from Saturday Night, Bill, all the talk in boxing, it feels like over the past few weeks about this big December 23rd show in Saudi Arabia. Personally, I was a bit surprised not to see Martin Bakole on the bill. He was very impressive against Carlos Takam last time out. There was word that the Saudis, took a warmth to him, liked him. I saw a couple of rumours of a potential fight with Hrgovic.
It was never mentioned to me, Hrgovic. 4 other names were mentioned, and the 4 names are still fighting on the show. So I know 4 of them said no, basically.
Who was the one who didn't?
That's not for me to say. It wouldn't be right with it. But 4 people that are fighting on the show have said no to the fight.
Well, the word is that this is not going to be the last big show in Saudi. I mean, we already know there's the Undisputed fight in February. There's talk of dates in March, in May, even in June. Are you confident you will see Martin back out in Saudi and potentially move towards that world title shot?
Well, if we're given the opportunity, if we're given an opportunity to fight out there again, I'd love the opportunity because it was a fantastic experience. The Saudi Arabian people were magnificent towards us, the reception they gave us, the hospitality they gave us, and it was what a venue and a complex the place was to box in. If you don't want to be involved in that, you shouldn't be in boxing.
When do you think we'll see Martin out again? I mean, that's been the sort of... I mean, he had a decent bit of activity last year, was out twice, but that has been something that's been a bit of a problem for him, is getting fights. He's always been regarded as someone who's sort of in the who needs him club. He's still promotionally signed with Boxer, am I correct in saying that? And are we expecting that? Because it doesn't seem to actually, for when he gets out, it doesn't really seem to be on Boxer shows, certainly not in the UK.
Well, that's something you maybe address Ben Shalom at Boxer with. He'll be fighting early part of next year. There'll be something in the next week or so. Good news.
We look forward to it, Bill. Just a couple more things I want to get your thoughts on. Sticking with the heavyweight division, the man who is on the December 23rd show is Anthony Joshua. A few eyebrows were raised when the news emerged that he wouldn't be with Derek James for that fight and he'd be teamed up with Ben Davison. From a trainer's point of view, how does that work? Because if you're from the outside looking in, obviously I've never been a trainer, I've never been a fighter, but I would have thought if you're with a trainer, that's your trainer, and it would be almost sort of counterproductive to sort of go and spend wee bits and pieces with other trainers. As a trainer yourself, how do you sort of see that whole situation?
Well, I think there's a bit of insecurity there, that you're going from trainer to trainer, because from all the trainers that he's had, for me, Rob McCracken was the best at a lot of them. And that's no disrespect to the other trainers, but, there's boxers who go, in my opinion, and it's just purely my opinion, boxers who go from trainer to trainer to trainer to trainer, there's insecurities within themselves, so it's no counterproductive. You know what I mean?
Notwithstanding, how do you see him faring against Otto Wallen?
Otto Wallen is a big southpaw. A small southpaw gave him difficulty. A small southpaw with skill. Otto Wallen's bigger, that can punch a wee bit. And then let's not forget, he gave Murat Gassiev, he beat him handily in Russia, and they say that Gassiev punches every bit as hard as Joshua, but has Joshua still got it? We don't know. We'll know more probably in the Otto Wallen fight. I hope Joshua wins. Of course, I hope he wins. He's a lovely guy, cracking fight, and done magnificently well for British boxing. Kept the boxing going in Britain for a long time. Will he win? I think it's a very difficult fight, but I hope he wins.
Well, Billy, the press conference is just about to start. Appreciate you giving me some of your time. I'll let you get back to it. Thanks, mate.
All the best to you.
Cheers, Bill. Top man.